Corey, back again.
Is this thing on?
It is, baby. It is. Technically back for our third episode.
Ooh, that second episode, there's some debate there.
Well, I think this will officially be like episode 13 or 14 for me, so you're approaching almost 25% of my episodes. Big fan.
Huge fan.
Folks, what up? What up? Welcome back to the Funky Monkey Show. It's your boy X Rated with number one co-host sidekick, Captain Corey Liss. Always smells like piss.
No boo hiss.
That was a setup for you, bro. Setup for you. That was jokes. Jokes, folks. We're here Christmas weekend, getting our chill on.
You never have too much water, and you can never have too much Jesus.
Nope. One time for we Jesus.
I know a guy.
In the house. Stronger than Mighty Mouse. That was a shout out for all my little people. Corey, little Frankie.
Yeah, Eric's 6'4". Just ask him; he'll tell you.
Yep. 6'3" on a bad day. Check out Fletch, 6'5", with the afro, 6'9".
He was the original Dennis Rodman.
Oh God, love that guy. Beautiful day out, Corey. Oh my God, we're gonna have so much fun today.
On a side note, Eric and I are battling to make it to the championship game today. The Pinnacle Super Bowl.
Technically, this is true. For those who don't know what we're talking about, fantasy football. Yours truly, Big Daddy, a.k.a. One-Eyed Jack, a.k.a. E-Money, a.k.a. X-Rated, is in first place, solo.
11 wins.
11-3. Technically, you should have been 13-1. I played foil to myself a couple of weeks by over-managing.
Too much tinkering.
Not a good thing to do. Tinkering a little bit is okay, but never. It's like when you just take the test as a kid and you do your first answer, you have time and go back and you start changing shit. Most of the time, like it was like 70% of the time, whatever your first answer was actually right.
Yeah, that's true. The multiple choice for sure. C is the most common answer.
This is true. I never Christmas treed shit. I never did the C. I can honestly say that. I might have taken tests fast, might have not known shit and gave it a half-ass guess, but I can honestly say I never went through and like just Christmas tree tests or did, the A, B, A, C, whatever. I had a couple friends that did that shit and got like almost 100, like totally guessing everything. I mean, there were huge tests, like 20 questions or whatever.
Right. Well, as a former teacher who did create tests, like it's something you think about. Like,
Jesus.
It can't always be B.
Waking up, going to school every day, knowing Corey was your teacher.
Wow. Teacher of the year 2 times.
I'm just kidding, bro. I would have fun with you as my teacher.
Oh, elementary P. Imagine this guy.
I look back, my teachers I remember the most were the fun ones and then the ones that were serious enough but had info and delivered it in a cool way. Those were the memorable ones.
Yeah, down to earth. I
never had any hot teachers. That was a bummer.
Oh, no.
That was a bummer.
Most of the teachers I had, the female ones especially, they pulled their pants up to their boobs. Like, that was a look.
Oh, I like it.
Remember the
I like
polyester
it.
pants?
Yeah, for sure. There was rumor at our school, at Brookside Middle School, where I went in Sarasota, that one of the teachers there was a ex-Playboy model, that she had done a Playboy shoot a couple times or whatever.
That should be really easy to research.
She was beautiful, right? But as we were a kid, I guess I should have never really researched it. Oh, man, that's a good one. I wonder if I can look that up now. I wonder if that's possible, Corey.
I'll tell you what, the first Playboy I ever saw, my grandfather's house, had a pool table / table tennis table down the basement, and then it was like a lot of plumbing stuff, everywhere. But if you opened the little closet that went to all the plumbing pipes, he had Marilyn Monroe, and I want to say, was her name Mayfield?
Mm-hmm.
And Jane Mansfield.
Jane Mansfield. She was hot. The blonde.
Those were the 2 covers that were inside of that.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I saw a Playboy. I was probably like 7.
Yeah, that's so funny. My neighbors, where I saw it my first time, this dude lived next door. Cool guy would, let me go. He had a speed bag and a heavy bag. I'm like 7 or 8. And he let me go hit it.
Two ex-wives? Come on.
He'll be here all week, folks. But seriously, I'm in there like doing the speed bag and learning it and stuff. I'm a kid. I'm like 7, 8 years old, maybe even 9. And I just remember turning around and seeing a chick on the door. And it was not Playboy. It was like Hustler or something like that.
Ooh, that dude.
Oh, dude, because she was sitting there, spread eagle. I saw shit I'd never seen before. My mind was blown. Instant boner.
Welcome to the Christmas episode, everybody.
Instant boing. No, seriously.
So true story.
We don't want true stories. We want made up ones.
No, so both of my grandparents, their houses were literally like 2 miles, less than 2 miles from each other, and that they didn't meet until I lived there the summer of being 20 years old, and my grandfather, my mother's father, gave me a ride home to see my father's mother, and I invited him inside, and that was the first time they'd ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, so Eric, what's your first ever memory as a child? Like the first one you can put your head and be like, this really happened.
All right. No joke. Ah!
Fumble.
Yeah, right. I'm over here breaking shit. And ironically, that's my good side. It's my good eye. When
he bends over.
I know, right? I don't know. Let me think about that. But while I do, let me go ahead and give shout outs. It's Christmas episode, folks. It's day after Christmas. We had a beautiful Christmas. Corey came Christmas Eve. We hung out. We had fun. We did some soul searching. Beautiful evening.
I'm still soulless. We're still looking.
That's right. It was fun ride we went on. But I want to give a shout out because today's drinks are brought to you by the Macallan Fine Oak 10-year. Shout out to Taylor's beautiful girlfriend, Miss Alyssa, for buying me this wonderful, wonderful bottle of scotch.
Your son's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got this. You weren't here. You were sleeping, bro. She brought me this yesterday for Christmas.
You are winning for sure.
That's winning, dude. That's winning. Excuse me. So, Alyssa, you're a sweetheart. We love you. That was so nice of you. And brought Jessica a sick bottle of wine from the local winery here, Fenton Winery. So, shout out, Alyssa. Drinks also brought to you by Kyle Rittenhouse's favorite brand, White Claw. Okay? You know how white and hardcore. Ain't no law when you're on that claw. I don't know. Allegedly he was drinking them before he went to Kenosha that night. He had this little, what's it called? Your little EMT pack. Because there was proof he was actually there, like, helping people. But one of the video, like, zoomed in. He was actually running around, and he had White Claws, and he would open them up and just shoot them in people's face, and they would get revived and were totally energized again. So he was actually saving people, was shooting them with White Claws, too.
White Claw miracle?
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, I don't even know what to make of this. Is he really telling the truth?
Yeah. He's a sponsor of the show. Just kidding. He's a good kid, though. Kind of got pigeonholed. Shouldn't have been there, but
are you resident?
I can applaud anybody who's a good shot.
All right, so
what are you doing here, prosecutor? What are you doing here? You doing here in the Kenosha? You don't even live here. My dad lives here.
Boom. That was it. Episode over.
Yep.
That was the one.
Game, set, match.
Yep.
Go home. I don't know what was worse, that or the fucking dumb motherfucker pointing the gun at people in the fucking courtroom. The prosecutor.
Oh, yeah. That's another Baldwin episode. No, what I loved about that... that kid, when there's video.
That feeling you get when you see Alec Baldwin on the fucking set.
This is me leaving. No, the video of the police officers tossing him a bottle of water. That's one of my favorite episodes of that whole incident, too. Like, this guy's rocking a giant gun on this giant necklace. And here, a bottle of water, son. Thanks for being here.
Well, he deserved it. He's a good shot.
Probably thirsty.
I can applaud anyone who's that good of a shot. Goddamn, Alyssa, shout out, seriously. The smoky oakiness. That Macallan. Fine, fine, fine oak. Ow. All right. So, after my little diatribe there, thank you. Beautiful Christmas. Corey, thank you for coming and hanging. Hope you liked your gifts. Thank you for bringing gifts. Thank you for bringing gifts for the kids. Unnecessary, but that's what he does.
Uncle Corey. So I've come to.
Let's get back to your. Say what you're gonna do, and we'll get back. to the question.
Okay. First question. Here we go. First memory. So, I was born 2 months after my mother turned 17, so super young. She was super young. My dad was like 2 years older than that. We lived in this little apartment in Albany. I don't remember any of that, but we lived in this farmhouse, the Hoogeveen Farm in Stillwater, New York, outside of Saratoga Springs. And my two, well, maybe three. Well, we keep going, but
Is this Northwest New York? Upstate?
Upstate, so about 45 minutes north of Albany, about an hour and a half shy of Lake Placid if you just go straight up.
Isn't Albany the capital of New York?
It sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is. So there was an old rickety farmhouse where, the farmhands used to live back in the day, probably 50 years ago or what have you. So it was my mom and dad and I and my dad's brother Kirk, my Uncle Kirk. Uncle Kirk and I shared the upstairs loft. And to this day, I have to sleep with a fan because as a child, I had to sleep through this every night. Like such a snoring monster that now I have to have some kind of rando noise to sleep. So
Who snored like that?
My uncle Kirk, love him. I've spent
Yeah, you just said that.
6 days at his house in Jersey. Super. His wife Susie, she's super great as well. My cousins, they're all growing up now. So anyway, the farmhouse, the kitchen floor had a slant, like a legit 4-inch slant. So this is me as a 2-year-old. I would crawl up the incline, use the cabinet knobs handles to lift myself up, and then I would stumble down the incline, and those were my first steps. That's how I learned how to walk. So I remember doing that. That's probably my first memory. Second one would be the outside of the house had 10,000 daddy long leg spiders. I'm not even kidding. It was infested. Our white farmhouse, and it was moving. Just daddy long leg spiders till, millions. It was ridiculous. And then the other memories that I have from that little farmhouse, there was a hill on the other side of the street, and we had that old school wooden toboggan with the little elbow in the front.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
And we would load up, my cousin Justin, he was a year younger than me, so him and I were in the front, the two little people, right? And they'd load up my Uncle Kirk, my Uncle Eric, my dad, my mom, and my Aunt Terry, who's my godmother, and we would go down this 100-yard hill fast as lightning. It was just, and we're plowing through snow. There would be 3 feet of snow, and we'd walk it up, and we'd go down, so we'd just naked, no one's ever been on this path before, we always wanted to go first.
Right, all right.
And just keep creating paths. And we'd ride that thing all day long. So much fun. And then the last memory I have is it's attached to my Aunt Darcy and my Uncle Craig. They were teenagers, 12 and 14 years old each. My dad and mom had just come up from the city, didn't want to raise their son in the city, young couple, young kid in the city. So they came up for the summer, and my dad was he's such a giving kind of guy that they had this Children of the City experiment where you'd come and go upstate for 2 weeks. So I had Junebug and Juanita.
Shut up.
Yep, came up and lived with us. They're teenagers just like my aunt and uncle. So there's 4 teenagers in the house and me. And we go out and we're playing Frisbee. And my cousin Craig throws the Frisbee into the bullpen. We're talking barbed wire, big posts, right? Well, no one can get under the barbed wire except this guy, 3 years old, right? So I got one of those 70s orange shirts on, bright and burnt. Crawl under there. I get the Frisbee in my hand, and I'm walking back, and my aunt and uncle and my 2 friends from the city are watching me, and they're okay. And I'm waving the Frisbee. I'm coming in hot. And then I see my aunt, my godmother, sprinting with this look on her face. Like, what is going on? So she reaches over. I just get to the fence. I'm still waving this bright Frisbee around.
Yeah, pull a little closer. You can pull it to you.
She pulls me up by my shoulders, and a bull charges into that post that was right next to us. Like, that was one of my 9 lives.
Oh.
Yeah, the teenagers were just standing there. They were frozen and like, what do we do? And my aunt came screaming from the house and picked me up, and that bull charged that post and just smashed it right in half like splinters.
Snap.
Like, that could have been me.
That's gnarly. That's gnarly. My first memory is, it's funny you said that because I was thinking about it, and ironically that it's Christmas time. And I've never figured out who it was because they didn't tell me, but I was at the house. You know, when you were a kid, like when I was a kid, one of the things is my dad, someone would disappear, and they come back out dressed as Santa in the Santa suit. You sit on Santa's lap. Well, one year they did that shit, and my whole family was there. And that's
my whole family. Give me
my dad, both my sisters, my mom, my uncle, my grandparents. So it's no one in my immediate family who could have been Santa. And it was like Christmas, so we didn't hang out with, you know, families back then. You kind of just, you did your own thing together as your family. I still to this day have no idea who the fuck that was playing Santa, and I just remember being shocked because I was old enough to look around and remember that everyone was there, but who was this guy that was Santa? Like, I legit thought it was really Santa, and that's one of the earliest memories that I have.
And you to this day, you've never asked your sisters? Like, they're older
because
than
it
you?
was so old. Yeah, I'm 11 years older. But it's one of those things I remember asking when I thought to ask, and it had been too late. Everyone had forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I think I want to say it was in my maybe late teens, early 20s.
It might have been the real Santa.
Yeah, who knows? Because I remember going through. I had pictures of it. I remember asking my mom.
Miracle on Watkins Street.
Yeah, right. Super miracles. Yeah, so that's my earliest memory there. That's funny, your bull story. I got a quick bull story. Is driving down the street one day, Proctor Road in Sarasota, and we were cruising east, and there was this...
How old are you?
18.
Okay.
There was this little cow pasture, small one, right on the road, maybe literally 200 yards long and maybe 50 yards deep. And there was a few bulls in there and some cows. And drive by with my buddy, Butthead. Shout out Jay DeLaurier.
Shout out.
Yep. I looked to the left, and I remember doing this one. Bro, mushrooms in the fucking field, so big, we could see him from his truck driving 50 miles an hour down the road. I'm like, bro, turn around now.
Did you grab him?
Oh, yeah. And so he turns around, pull up on the side of the road, and I'm like, look at those. He's like, holy shit. So we're sitting there like, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, let's go try to grab them. Let's park up here in this little neighborhood, kind of walk around. And sure enough, so we did that.
Barbed wire fence? Barbed wire fence?
Yeah, but not super close to each other. It wasn't the barbed wire. It was the ones with the, well, I guess it would be barbed wire because I'm thinking of razor wire. So yeah, barbed wire. But they were like this far. You could get in between them.
Yeah,
You had to be careful. Yeah. So I get in the field, and he's like, I'm going to go get the truck. So as soon as we're good, we can come back. I'm like, fine. And so I go, and I'm getting in the field, and I'm standing there. I just slowly start walking towards, and at this time, I hadn't seen the bulls. I had only seen the cows. And so I'm walking, and I get to the spot where they are, and I'm talking fucking dinner plates, 10 to 12 inch, and now I realize...
Wait, the mushrooms or the poop?
The mushrooms.
Shut the front door.
Swear to God.
Size of a plate?
Bro, I was using them. We were wearing them as hats going back, and not yarmulkes. We were wearing them as full on fucking symbol hats. That's how big they were, dude. I'm not talking a little yarmulke on the back, dude. I'm covering our whole head. And then we start going, fuck, the bugs inside. So we took them off. We're laughing.
Oh, yeah.
But
plus the poo part.
So I go, and I'm smacking the top, doing my little shake and grabbing them. And I'm just putting them on my shirt. And they're so big. They're like I said, they're like just stacking these dinner plates. The whole stem, grabbing everything. I probably have 15 of them. Probably a couple pounds of mushrooms from 15. I've never seen them this big in my entire life. Well, now we realize why they were that big, because there was the fucking bulls in there. Bro, I turn around and the fucking bull is right there. And when I say right there, I don't mean he's like 10 feet away. But this motherfucker has come from out of the tree and just standing there looking at me.
How close? How close?
30, 40 yards.
Okay, that's so still
far,
pretty good.
Yeah, far enough away that if I felt, I was nervous, but I wasn't like, oh shit, he's coming to kill me. Like, and I just stopped right then. Luckily, I'd grabbed everything. There was a few more like back further. I'm like, I'm good. I just started keeping my eyes on him, and it started kind of like backtracking towards the fence. I didn't want to go quick, so I was moving slow as shit, and he slowly would just take a few steps, just checking me out. But that's nothing crazy happened. He didn't charge at me or anything. But the fear that I felt when I didn't see them, and I turned around, and all of a sudden, that son of a bitch is there. I still to this day remember my stomach going, and get that tingle in your nuts. I'm like,
because the size of a Volkswagen van, those things are fucking giant.
He was a black bull.
Oh gosh, so giant.
Don't actually, folks, go ahead and Google black bull videos and see what pops up. You'll probably see the bull in the field I was talking about.
Shut the fuck up. All right, so let's circle back around to childhood. You got your first memory, Santa. That's not your family member. Could have been the real Saint Nick.
Yep.
All right. What's your second most vivid childhood memory? Like, chronologically.
That was my first memory. Like,
right.
And I was trying to think of that, not like the most vivid.
No, but we're going chronologically. So the next most vivid, don't go to 11 years old. Like, you had to have something happen when you were 4 or 5 or 6.
Okay, this is fucking hilarious. I just thought about it. So the house I grew up in on Siesta Key was
Siesta Key. Shout out.
Yep, goddamn Sarasota, Florida. It was just a single. It was like a normal. It was a 2-bed, 1-bath, on a big double lot. So the yard I grew up in to play in was huge. It was fun. They ended up building a third bedroom, and then a couple years later, my grandparents built a house that was connected to ours through a breezeway, like a screen door breezeway. So it was a separate house, but you could get through it walking through the screen door. And so they lived behind us, and it was kind of cool growing up with them because they were always there. The bad part is I hear all these stories of friends who used to travel and go spend the summer. Like Jessica would go spend every summer with her grandparents. Every summer she would go from like 3 or 4 years old until she was like, like 11 or 12.
That's a thing families do.
Yeah,
we didn't do it.
She would literally go from Florida for the entire summer to West Virginia or Virginia and hang out. So I grew up with my grandparents. Well, my grandfather, I told you before, was an ex-professional wrestler. And he's a big-ass dude, big guy. He's like 6'3", 220, 230. You know, he's a big man. And I remember one day, he used to always, we had bikes, we're on the Siesta, so we'd always ride our bikes up to the village. So one day I'm outside, and I'm young. I'm like 6 or 7, maybe not even 7, like 5, 6, but old enough to know. And I'm out there, and I'm on the porch, and my grandfather's going to get on his bike, this old Schwinn beach cruiser he had, army green, dude. Ugliest bike ever. I'm like, how the fuck do they make an army green Schwinn cruiser? It's not red, not black, not some pretty color. But again, it was the 70s or early 80s. And poor Pepe went to go get on the bike. And back then, they just wore like the loose shorts and stuff.
Yes.
Well, as we were talking last night with being a grandfather, saggy nut syndrome had set in. And this motherfucker sat on his nuts. And I'm like, I look back now, I'm like, Jesus, how saggy were those fuckers? They were able to actually set up on the seat and lap under so you could actually sit on them. And he sat on them, and he fucking screamed. And I just remember him going, no! And I was so scared. I'm like, Pepe, what happened? He's like, I sat on my nuts. And I fucking didn't even hesitate. I ran inside the house. I'm like, mommy. She's like, what? I'm like, Pepe sat on his nuts. And she fucking lost it. She couldn't even be concerned about her own father. She lost it. That I'm running as a kid going, he sat on his nuts. That's legit like my earliest like vivid memory of something that happened that stuck out. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's crazy.
So funny.
That's a great one.
Pepe is French for grandfather.
Boom, boom.
His name was Paul.
So you had that cute little apartment.
He wasn't Hispanic.
Never said he was, guy.
Well, some people think Pepe is like Pepe.
Wow.
Hey, his name is a Pepe. No, it's not a Pepe. It's a Pepe.
My guy, it's a whole new world. So you had that cute little apartment. Now, what was the next move? Like, where did you guys move from there?
I grew up in that house my whole life.
18 years?
So
wait a minute. It was an apartment?
No, it was a house.
On a giant lot of land?
No, it was a house. It was a small 2-bed, 1-bath house.
Oh, okay.
And then they built a second house in the back. And in the middle was a big-ass swimming pool we had put in.
Oh, you need one of those in Florida.
Yeah, and it was huge. It was 32 or 35 feet long and like half of that wide.
So
it was a big-ass pool. Shout out Eli Legassi's family. God damn, was it Billy Legassi? It's anyways, like a famous pool company in our town, family that do all kinds of pools and cool shit. Dude built it for my parents for $2,000, $2,000. The pool, the pumps, in ground, bro.
Oh, wow.
2K, 1970, like 7 or 8, and part of the
great investment. Part
of the agreement was my grandfather buying it was that I had to learn how to swim. So I took swim lessons as a little bucking kid. So I've been swimming forever. But I think part of the agreement was like use it as his show model. So they had agreed to let people come by and look at the pool to see what the kind of craftsmanship and quality
so
could do.
He nailed it.
Bro, so he made it perfect. Brought one family by to look. One family by ever. Never came by. $2,000. That same pool today, that big, $50 to $70K.
Yes.
Easy.
Super easy.
I got friends getting little turd ass, those little baby kidney shaped. Like it's worth not even having actually. Probably just get a couple hot dogs. No, those are like $30K now.
Oh god.
20 to $30K. We're talking in ground,
No, in ground's listen, that's the jam.
That's the only way to go.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you could use it 2 days a year up here.
No, bro, you can use it the whole summer, and if you heat it, you can use it into fall.
I know.
Okay, don't be such a hoser.
Oh, come on.
Don't be such a hoser.
Well, I'll say this: the pools in North Carolina got a lot more burn than the pools in upstate New York, and those are the two places I've lived before I came here. But yeah,
nice.
Love a good pool.
Yep.
So we lived in that farmhouse, and my aunt and uncle, they moved out. They got a really cool house up. It was called McGregor Mountain. It's one of like the little bitty mountains of the Adirondacks, like the first couple, right? Might be the first one in that line of sight going north to south. Beautiful home. They had a stream.
Is it where they filmed Dirty Dancing?
No. But there's the only quirky thing about it was there was a serious like. All right, so when you do long time, is it a prison or a jail? Like one of them, a county jail. So county jail, so it's a prison. This is like a super prison, and dude, my uncle busted them multiple times, like just dumping their chemical swag into the stream. So it'd come around the yard because it meandered through the property. And dude, like green, blue, like glowing.
Shout out to the environmental terrorists.
Yeah, no, the government. We're gonna save money on.
Hate these sons of bitches.
We're gonna save money on disposal. We're just gonna dump it in a stream.
I like it.
Well,
I like people that just love killing the earth because they're more worried about making money.
Oh gosh, GE out of Albany just dumped stuff in the Hudson River for decades.
Bro, half of Michigan's polluted from big industry. I just never understood how someone could open a business. I don't care where you are or what you're doing. How do you not take care of your surrounding areas?
Right, that's your fan base. I mean,
how do you not protect the fucking state where you are?
Yeah.
Excuse me, the state where you are, the earth and everything. That's one of the crazy things I've noticed about Michigan is the big industry here gives zero fucks about the people, about the environment, about regulation, about anything. We live in, literally, this is the fucking car capital of America. This is where it started. Motor City, Detroit, Ford, Chevy, Mopar, everything. How come the roads around here suck so fucking bad?
Dude, we have the worst roads.
Why
in
are these
America.
dumb dicks not smart? How are they not smart enough to be like, hey, let's invest in actually having good roads so people can enjoy their cars and come up and drive them and hang out and shit? It's unfucking believable. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so you know what though? You live in Grand Blanc.
Executives for those companies, you're dirtbags.
First of all, you live in Grand Blanc. So here's what's happening. Like in a small town where I live in Middle Michigan, like I have a $125,000 home. I have a road that has pavement on it. I'm rich in my neck of the woods. I am. There are people that live on dirt roads and lean-tos, and their truck looks like it's been through 20 years of snow.
Right.
There's not a license plate on it. There's rust everywhere.
Right.
Like, so there's that part of the state too. And now in Florida, I don't know. I feel like half the pollution, I don't want to blame corporations, but I know they suck. But also the water table here is so high, and with all the farms and the animals, like they can put little feces in that water table and it can swing around for miles, right?
No doubt. There's always been issues with watering and farmlands and, yes, runoff with feces, and not just animals, sometimes human. There's so many times, look at all the recalls they've had.
Right, but in my county, there's more animals than humans. Now, your county may be different.
Right. No, I'm just talking about like I guess what I was just saying, like in California, they would find human feces, like chloroform in spinach and shit. It's because the workers are out there shitting in the field too. But it's the same type of thing. It gets washed in, it gets into the food, it gets down to the streams and waterways and everything. Usually though, if it's organic matter, it takes care of itself over time and breaks down. It's when you have the manures and you have all these animal waste and what have you mixed with these chemical fertilizers, and not natural fertilizers, are ones that are super heavy in nitrogen that take forever to break down over time. Guys aren't worried about natural farming and shit, and they use these chemicals.
But I bet you and I have had this discussion on more than thrice occasion. Like Mother Nature is a big, strong bee. Like she can tear some stuff up. So we're talking about the whole fertilization stuff. So this is late 70s. So I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of chemical nonsense. But so we lived on that farm in Stillwater. It was a milk, it was a dairy and apple orchard farm. Okay, but there's a bunch of those in Schuylerville and Stillwater and Saratoga Lake, beautiful lake, right? But it was and lakes always are that lowest part of the elevation in your neighborhood, right? All the farms fertilizer floated into the lake, and so many weeds, like 40-foot weeds in natural water, and so I feel like
we see that around here. Just what we were talking about. That's around here.
So it happens here too. Yeah. So it's a thing.
Some of these beautiful lakes where there's these beautiful homes, these people are building docks because it used to be like farmland or what have you back in the day.
Well, all of it.
Well, now they've taken it over and they've come in and bought and put like nice neighborhoods in there. Dude, there's people having to build docks like 150 feet long.
Just to get out of the weeds.
To get past the reeds and past all the bullshit to actually get to boatable water to get out of the main spots, main lakes.
Yep. So that's a thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm with you on that. But again, that comes back to just responsible gardening and responsible farming techniques. In California, my 5 acres backed up to who became my friend, my neighbor, who owned 550 acres, bro. Gifted to him by the wife's grandfather. No other kids, no grandkids, no nothing. 550.
Dude, that is a ridiculous amount of land.
Largest single private landowner in Sonoma County.
Okay.
One contiguous or contiguous, however you want to say it, parcel.
Property, yeah.
It's fucking beautiful. Well, he had 2 lakes. Right next to me was more of like a pond, but over next to him was a lake. And he would let me take water out of his pond to water my outdoor crop, right? Because every year I would do a big outdoor. Well, Corey, I had between 70 and 100 plants in pots. The smallest pot, would be like a 45 or 60 gallon.
Holy hell.
The biggest,
it's gigantic. Bro, it's like the size of a garbage can.
The biggest is 100 or 150 gallons, which is the 100 gallons as big as this table, 150 gallons even bigger. and with walls like this.
Yeah, where were
and
the
bigger.
Where the big circular things they'd bury mafia people in the lake?
Yeah.
You know?
So the thing about how big a 55-gallon drum is,
yeah.
3 times as big as that. 3 times as big, bro.
And
so,
one plant?
One plant in that.
Was it a redwood?
Yeah, right? No, I grew trees, bro. I grew trees, you know? And I laugh about these people like, I grew some plants and this and that. And I'm talking Coke bottle bases. Coke bottle, swear to God.
Trunk?
I found some on my old phones and computer. I've got some video from back in the day. Because think about back then, the camera phones weren't that good, and I had some cameras and some shit. So I've got some stuff I'm going to put a little video together. I've got some one of Matthew. You know how big he is, standing in front of trees with his arms spread out like this. And they're legit 3-4 feet wider than him and 3-4 feet taller than him.
All right, so when you edit this video, that's when you pop in those 2 pictures. I would love to see that right now.
Yeah, we'll put those in. But what I was saying is I took water out of his pond and watered my plants. And there was always, at the end of the day, because I would water them for like 4 or 5 hours, because I had everything on slow drip, like 1 gallon an hour drip emitters. I've had anywhere, depending on the size of the pot, like 5 to 15 in there, strategically placed. You let it water for 4 to 5 hours. Well, all that shit, and I'm up on a hill, is running down the runoff towards his lake. He never, ever, ever one time had overgrowth of any kind, grass or weed death of any kind, any water change, because it was clear like where my stuff was coming down to the lake. And because I would always use 100% organic stuff, all natural. Also, I wouldn't feed him to the point where I was fucking like overfeeding and poisoning. There's a bunch of runoff that's running down to the shit, right? It's like anything. If you farm responsibly and grow your shit correctly, not only will you not kill the land around you, you'll actually take care of it. And next to all my plants, the pots, because they're always in those big pots above ground, there was always beautiful green little grass or flowers or all kinds of stuff growing on the ground next to them from the runoff, as opposed to killing everything by using toxic or synthetic chemicals.
No, and I totally, listen, I love that. But what year? We're talking like what, 96?
You need to let the people clap for me. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Give it up to Eric, everybody.
Thank you. No, that's already 2000s. No,
Yeah,
so 98, I'm growing indoor in Florida only. But no, that's 2009 through like 2017.
Yeah, so I'm talking about like 1978, bro. There was a lot of growth between then and now.
What?
Yes, for
No,
real.
there's been no advancements. Come on.
Give me a break.
The cars in 78 and the cell phones are the same as they are now.
That recalled Pinto, never been the same. All right, so Eric, let's go. So my uncle and aunt moved to that little place with the stream. We talked about chemicals. They got a little diatribe right here in Grand Blanc. So we moved into this cute little upstairs apartment, 2nd floor apartment. It was on Lawrence Street. Gosh, I still remember. That's amazing. So we had the 2nd floor, 2nd story deck. We had a separate pair of stairs. So it was designed to be 2 family right out of the gate. The guy that lived below us was a lawyer.
This joint smells good.
Owned the building. Merry Christmas. I got that for the
I'm going to let you finish
daddy.
the joint and finish the story.
Right.
And then I'm going
So
to make it interesting, though, man.
Wow.
Talk about hookers and crack cocaine.
No, I'm going to talk about kids and being a kid.
Fuck kids. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's important. No, we're not joking. We were talking about this, folks, earlier. I think a lot of times people, especially nowadays, they stop appreciating life. They stop thinking about we were all once young kids with dreams and good lives and good ideas and aspirations. And when you get older, it's very easy to get caught up in the mundane bullshit and to get woe is me and this and that. I think it's important to look back and think about times as you were a kid. Think about what you were thinking, things that impacted you in your life, because at the end of the day, it's what shaped you and makes you, right? Us, makes us who we are.
Well said. Well said. Definitely. But one of the things, Eric, I've noticed about a lot of my friends is they can't remember like what from 4 days ago because we get bombarded with so much stuff. Now,
absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely. Information overload, bro. I'm over that shit.
Yeah, definitely. I'll shut down on my phone for hours at a time purposely just to like live in that moment. Like, I don't need to be getting trolled by even my mom. Like, Mom,
No, everyone knows I've shared the story before about us getting swatted and bullshit like that. I wish it was, back to times, and I'm trying to get back to that way, simplifying things like when we were kids and there wasn't cell phones and beepers and all this bullshit and all this internet and all this outside white noise, distracting you from being a human, being a parent, a friend, father, cousin, whatever you are. I think it's important that we start doing that shit again. And I'm starting to limit my kids' time on their cell phones. Well, Taylor's an adult now, technically, but he's cool with that. He doesn't do it. He games, he works 40, 50 hours a week. He's a good kid.
Good boy. You guys did well.
Thank you. But Bailey is, 13 years old. And folks, please monitor your kids' shit. Don't feel guilty looking at their stuff.
Yes.
Bro, we go through Bailey's stuff. Like, she doesn't even know how to clear her cookies and all that. Like, we pull up stuff from the fucking first day she has her cell phone.
No, it's genius.
It's pretty good.
From a guy who's learning the hard way. Like and it's a thing. It's effort. Like I had some friends complaining about. It was you guys about the elf on the shelf. Like that guy's so much work.
Fuck him.
But you know what? The elf on the shelf is the exact example of monitoring your children's social media. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Yes, you got to do it every day, and you got to move it. I know you don't want to some days, but you have to find that time.
I like it.
From one guy who didn't do it enough. Like, let me tell you that if you get on that social media, and because, teenagers, they'll say things now, and I communicate well with my son, but he'll say things that are so vague because that's the way you're taught to speak right now, because you can't be controversial, you can't be poignant, you can't be direct, or you're angry or a Karen or whatever. So they have these cute little codes that they speak in. Like, well, Dad, remember when I told you that that negative people can bring you down? Like, yeah, I remember when you told me that, but that hasn't. This whole story and that statement are miles apart. And
right.
Now I the thing that I've been punching myself in the face about is I probably should have followed up with, what does that mean? But instead I understood what it meant, so I agreed with it. I didn't know the depth of that statement, and so I should have inquired within and maybe asked a follow-up question. That's a thing about parenting that I'm starting to learn, is that you're basically an investigative reporter, all the time, but you don't want them to know you are, but you have to be. Because there's so much out there.
Have to be. And the kids, for some reason, no matter what they say, they're always like, when you tell them shit, like, I don't want to listen, and blah, blah, blah. Why are they telling me that? And they get snappy. And the way I try to handle it is I explain to the kids that we're a team. We're in this together. Mommy and I might be the captains of the team, but we're still a fucking team. And no one player is more important or this and that. We're all as equally important. We have to work together. And that's the way I try to get at. And, Bailey recently, it's funny, turned into a little shithead. A little bit like, where's she getting this? Where does she hear people talk to each other like this? And just a few little instances. And, well,
every social media site ever.
That's what I said. And so it was a perfect blend of watching these, TikTok videos with these kids pretending they're I love it, these clapping back at their parents. I'm literally, that's the only thing I'm going to say, because I could lose my mind right now.
Oh yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
A mix of that and this little girl she was hanging out with here lately. She's known her since she first moved.
The one from
here.
Thanksgiving?
No,
different one. Okay.
No. Oh yeah, the girl from Thanksgiving. There you go. I won't say no. Okay, yes, it was. There you go. Pulled this one the other day. Bailey's at her house. They're hanging out. Spent the night. They're supposed to spend the whole day together. Bailey's not supposed to go home till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Talk to her. She's like, yeah, come get me later. The girl gets a call from her friends at 11 o'clock, 11:30. Hey, do you want to go skiing? Girl goes, sure, hold on. Hey, Mom, can I go skiing? And Mom goes, oh, yeah, sure, I'll go take you. In the meantime, Bailey's just there. The girl doesn't say, hey, I'm hanging out with Bailey. Hey, I have Bailey's here with me. Can she come or whatever? Because this girl got invited by other people, didn't ask any of that, hung up and was like, okay, well, I'm going to go skiing. I guess you can have your dad come get you now. Like, total fucking opportunist. Total opportunist.
That's the nicest way to say that.
Trust me, and I've got so many things to say because I've had interactions with the parents and all kinds of stuff, and I see 100% where it comes from. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Apple tree.
And I've told Bale before. I'm like, look, babe. I'm like, this girl. I don't, without trying to be judgmental. I watch what I say because you know me. I mean, I do. I love. I hang with fucking everybody. But I had to watch because I knew this wasn't a good girl. I just knew it. There's a few other things like this that have happened. And sure enough, same thing. Bailey gets the girl Christmas presents, birthday presents, all this. Girls never got Bailey one thing. One thing ever. Not that you should. I'm not saying that you do stuff, but it's like when you're girlfriends, you hang out, you're supposed to be best friends and all this stuff.
Besties.
You know how it is. It's like, it's the principle. It's
BFF.
But look back, and this fucking girl, and just a little bit since Bale stopped hanging out with her, all of a sudden, just the last few days, the attitude is slowly going away. Because I explained, I'm like, it's not fucking cool. You don't talk to your parents. I snap on her sometimes, but she needs it because girls are real funny and they don't want to listen until you actually have to not yell at them, but just get a little stern in the voice. Because Bailey's never been spanked. She's never been grounded, nothing. So I have to watch how I do it. And so I've learned with just getting a little stern in my tone, but letting her know you're not in trouble. But this kid's a piece of shit. She can't hang out with her anymore and all this shit. You're not being punished. It's because I love you, and explain it to her. And in just the few days, I see the attitude disappearing.
Oh, yeah. And listen, that's human nature. When I hang out
back to being important, monitoring your kids' friends and all this shit.
No, but definitely. But also that whole human nature aspect of picking up who you're spending time with. Like when I go and see my cousins, every TH becomes a D. Welcome to the Statue of Liberty. Look over there. And I don't speak like that, but when I spend 4 days in a row with them on a holiday weekend, all of a sudden we're all, so that's a thing that we do as
muscle
humans.
memory comes back in your brain next thing you know.
Yeah. It's
Chloe's
so
like, forget about it.
Right.
Fangul.
So that's a real thing that happens. And then the other thing, so
we're going to smoke this weed, bro. So finish what you're going to say, and we're going to introduce the weeds.
All right, listen, I want you to tell a story about your favorite birthday while I go pee.
All right. Corey's going pee. Okay, for the 11th time in a row, he's fucking trying to run off with the thing. But in the meantime, check it out. When Corey comes back, marijuana cigarettes we're smoking today, brought to you by collaboration. Fuego and Chief. 1 gram frosted pre-roll. So it's made with flour, not sugar trim, not bullshit, no trimming machines, actually straight up bud, broken down, rolled into a joint. And then what makes this fella special, I'll hold it up close to the camera. You fools can try to zoom in. Check out that funky ass brown tip on there. So not only is the joint pure flour, it actually is loaded with THCA crystals right inside the joint. And then the end of the joint is actually dipped in concentrates itself. So they just warm it up. It's at this temperature. If they're warming it up like this, it's going to be, actually once it stops, it's this liquid. It'll be like shatter when it dries. Because once it gets so hot and it cools, just like anything, that shit solidifies. So they do that, and they actually dip it in oil. But like I said, it's not oil. It was just concentrates heated up to the point where it was liquidy. But then once it solidifies, it's hard as shit. It isn't sticky. It's kind of sick, bro. It's like it's sealed in. And the flour is slurricane, and it is 31%. So here's what happens. So this company here that did the testing is Infinite, and they're one of the more legitimate labs here in the state, along with PSI. Remember my last video was about all the bullshitters that basically fake test and flodge test to get more business. And ironically, the biggest violator was ran by ex-cops. Fucking pieces of shit. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, what? The cops doing dirty shit? No way, bro. Never. Oh, they would never do that. Ever, ever, ever. I could make my own comedy show, literally just sitting here talking about how good and clean most cops are.
Party of one.
Anyways,
Mr. Watkins.
so not only are we going to flog on this frosted joint and get it smoked up, but we're going to put it in the super smoking power hitter. You'll see it in action.
Yes, so cool.
But back to what I was saying. So here's this joint tested. Now, granted, it could be because the flower is so weak, but it's, you know, if you're throwing THCA crystals into a joint, then you're dipping the end of the joint in actual concentrates, and it's testing at 31%. But then you got people walking around going, bro, I got flower. It's fucking 37%. Hold up. Actually, Corey, fill in. What did some dude tell you that his Larry Bird...
Total cannabinoids.
Yeah, 31.5%. That's not what I'm saying. Once again, listen.
Okay.
What did some clown tell you that his Larry Bird gelato was? And this is on the street.
Oh, this is 38%.
Let's go ahead and laugh one more time at that.
Okay, so Eric, and I don't put you in this category, and my other good friends like your nephew and Frank that grow, and I respect their grows, don't do this. But 90% of growers are fishermen, Eric. My weed is this good.
Yeah.
That everybody's
know.
the best.
I know.
Like, come on. I can look at the bud structure and be like, no, like this is not the best. Or if they have decent bud structure, my first move, if I get anything handed to me that hasn't been tested by the state, I pop that bud. And 60% of the time, I found fucking mold, spores, and fungus in there. Like I'm not about to get a lung disease from smoking moldy flower.
Moldy flower. We don't do it. Check it out. Echo like 2021. It ain't dismissed, bitch. It's Christmas. You gotta get mine before you get yours. One time for the pimps, one time for the hoes.
Oh my God, we haven't even smoked this.
Booyah.
Shit.
Shout out to the homie Snoop Dogg. Gave me the idea. Homie was on Joe Rogan a couple weeks ago and have this sick microphone. Echo. That's how we do it, bro. How we do it.
All right, fire up that bird.
Yeah, we're gonna fire up the fucking Dizoob.
Now, listen, I want you to give advice to smokers that have never smoked something like this.
Folks, please go to any one of our stores and you can find these, but they're 100% Morenci. Check the menu and call ahead.
I sold them all out.
Different stores, all of our stores have different inventory due to the fact that everything sells at different rates. Some stores are busier than others. Some stores have a completely different customer base that want different products. So over time, we've learned that certain stores sell more certain gummies and flour. Other stores are more concentrates and, just different brands and varieties. So please check our menus at all stores before you head there, and that way you make sure. So again, this was a Fuego by Chief, 31% frosted pre-roll. Okay. Super tasty. Super delish. Gonna smoke it up, and then we're throwing that bitch in the power hitter.
So what I would tell people, Eric, is to hit it soft in the beginning, right? When you're letting this wax in, don't hit it like you're sucking a basketball through a garden hose. Like hit it softly, right?
Yeah, hit it soft and do a little bit light like this at first, folks. Just a little bit. It wants to drip. Hold it back and then watch. Let it burn. Here we go. Watch.
Dude, master of his craft.
And be careful because a little bit of the oil will drip. Hold it down. Let it drip onto the joint like this, right? Don't hold it like this. I got a little bit on my hand. No big deal.
Nice.
But what you want to do also is don't light it and suck on it so hard that you pull all the gas into it as well, because the heat will be too much and burn it. Smoking 101, twist the joint when you're hitting it to get it fully lit. It ain't gonna fully light, right? I mean, you see the fucking oil on the tip of this thing, dude. Shit's browner than Corey's butthole. God damn.
Wow.
Oh, wee.
So to go into 3-pack
I'm
mode.
noob.
Now we got Eric falling off the reservation. Bring him back. No, all that he just said is very important. Keeping it north-south, keeping that the tip up high, the lit part, and let it drip in there.
Yo, and Vince Vaughn, just the tip. Just the tip.
Oh, wow. You motorboating son of a bitch, you. Oh, no. Did you burn yourself, handsome? Oh, now you're going to hand it off to me. Oh, my gosh. Look at this goo, you guys. Look at this goo.
Holy shit.
I never would have imagined that. This is amazing.
No, this is crazy. So I'm not joking. Keep little Freddy. Oh, watch this. Watch this. Oh,
I've never smoked anything like this in my life.
Bro,
look at this thing.
Hold it over this. There's yours. I got one for me.
This?
Yeah, silicone dab mat. No. I mean, when you go to smoke it, there you go, bro. That way it'll drip on that, not you.
Oh, precious. Look at this.
One time, silicone dab mat. Smash,
Look at that
smash.
goo.
Holy shit. That thing tastes like magic, motherfuckers.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, brother. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
When they came in, I wasn't all sure about it. And I actually, just blindly, listen, Eric, I pulled a cord. I just blindly sold him. Like, this looks really cool. And then when I brought mine home and I had that tip and I could see the THC sugar in the roll, I was like, oh, man. And so I brought out the rubber glove, and everybody that came to my register, they didn't go home without one. Now we're gonna lose the wax though.
All right,
put
folks.
it upside down.
Here comes
Eric.
no, buddy. Watch this.
Oh no!
I'm gonna show you how to hit it. Don't turn it upside down. Don't turn it upside down, folks. Power hitter 101. Check it out.
Oh, I gotta get a picture of this, you guys. It's so beautiful.
Get it ready. All right, we sell these at the store, right? You got this at the store?
Yeah. I need this.
Yeah, we sell these at the store.
Side view so people can see the smoke.
Oh, we're getting this way. Check it out,
so
folks.
So fucking cool. You just nostrilled it. This motherfucker with a hat. Oh my gosh, his eyebrows just went all Bert and Ernie. Oh my gosh, I've never seen his face do that. Yes.
Leave like that. Holy fuck. I think I'm dying.
Wow, that's a flavor profile
Whoa,
I've never had.
Blasted. Oh shit. So back in the day,
oh, here we go. Grab a time machine.
Corey had one of these. It was called the Power Hitter. I remembers his dad hitting one. Shout out for Cops on Chronic.
Okay, so
I saw one of these, and it was called the Throttle Bottle. With the same idea.
Yeah, he tried to put his little peeper in that little hole in the front.
Yeah, right there. If I can fit, but ironically, so weird.
You were swimming in there. No, so true story.
Micro.
We were at Pearl Street, so we moved in there in like 77. So it's probably like 1980. My mom was a fabulous Italian cook. She would make giant pasta and meatballs. And my dad's like 3 best friends and their wives would come over, and a big round dining room table, so cute. I had my little seat. My brother Ryan, my brother Shane was in the little playpen there. So after dinner, they would sit in the living room where we had the last like 40-inch black and white TV. They were still rocking it. Look at it. Had a tube the size of Canada. But I would sit in front of the speaker while they listened to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and sing Chris and bob my head, crisscross applesauce, and they would pass this thing around. It looked exactly like what Eric has. It had a marijuana leaf and a baseball diamond on it. It was blue with a black top, and it said "The Big Hitter." And I've got uncles to prove it. They'll back me up on this. The best of the Corey stories are always true. Look at this thing. Oh man, The Big Hitter. It's back. They brought it back.
I mean,
everything
granted,
old is new again.
Granted, I just did 2 or 3 squeezes, but it probably was like 8 fucking joint hits.
Yeah, well, you are a weed monster.
Ironically, I think that my blind eye can actually see a little bit.
I can't. I can't take you anywhere. Jesus, that was too funny.
Jesus Christ, folks. Power hitter, power shitter. Check it out. You know what's super cool about this Fizz Oaks? 2 things. Your hands aren't going to smell like joint. And you know how when you hit the joint and because you're smoking it, you actually get like a feeling of the film in your mouth, right? Because you're smoking actual living plant matter. There's actual cellulose, fat, lipids, fats, lipids, waxes, all this shit, right, naturally occurring things in anything that you eat, drink, or smoke. But I swear to God, when you use this thing, your mouth doesn't get all like chalked up and gooey feeling. It literally feels like the cleanest smoke I've ever had besides like a dab or something. But even dabs, if you low temp it too much, it gets like waxy feeling. So all in all, what I'm saying is this shit the bomb.
No, so
shut up, Corey. People are clapping right now.
So the science.
You can talk now.
The science. How about that little space?
Shotgun.
Where it's in the air. Yeah. Is that a difference? Does the regular, because everything else you smoke, you put it right up to your mouth, but you don't put that up to your mouth, right? So you think that little space where it catches the surrounding air kind of lessens the blow and makes it just so pretty?
It's weird. Does the oil keep making it go up? It's like it's got this weird wanting to go out.
You put a fucking yeah. That wasn't here. This is some of my friends. Willie Nelson, roll a fatty.
Well, good news and bad news. Bad news is I didn't even bring down shit to roll fucking joints.
Oh, sorry. Listen, I'll go on a soliloquy.
The good news is I've got
a pre-roll. Oh, that fatty.
That's the one Daddy made last night with the black ring that fell out. Christina and I spent fucking half hour trying to fish out of the bottle. Your punk ass was downstairs sleeping.
I told you I needed.
Corey couldn't charge all day like Big Daddy.
He's not coming with the 8 days of Corey.
Yeah, right.
Fucking 411 transactions in 8 days.
Josh, I'm gonna need you to verify if that's true. I'll be fucking texting you this week.
That is a fact, Jack. I give it
a
good number too. All right, so going back.
Shout out real quick. Hold up before I say something. I was in Morenci store and Camden store last week. Little surprise visit. Shout out to everybody that works there and does everything. The stores looked beautiful and amazing. Shout out Potsy. You're the fucking most handsomest, cutest, greatest creative director I've ever seen. I don't know. Shit, we can probably get you over on with Louis Vuitton after this kind of shit. Virgil dead. Virgil dead AF. They need somebody.
He does look like a runway model. Oh, gosh. This thing again?
Shotgun up the nose, bro. Blows your fucking brains out. I feel like I'm a kid hanging out with my fucking friends, smoking Doziers.
Wow, this thing's
Rolly, where you at, Jason Dean? I hit you up, motherfucker. Motherfucker's playing fucking MIA. I'm not talking about Miami.
MIA? No, that's the way.
God damn. You know what, bro? We're already at an hour.
Cool. Let's go watch some football. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Let's wrap it up and watch some football, and then come back at drunk and talk about God.
Yes, I know a guy.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and talk about religions, you bitches.
All right. So in the meantime, we're gonna go and I'm gonna kick Eric's ass up and down the street in this fantasy football league. This is it. Me stumbling into the playoffs against the the manager, the Mr. Manager of the Year, Man Goo of the Year. I can't wait to kick your ass. We'll see you in a little while, friends.
Unless Mike makes a run back, it's going to be me versus old Devin.
No, it's going to be me versus Devin.
In the finals.
Me versus Devin, the real Morency people. You guys are just frauds.
Of Pinnacle Fantasy Football League 2021. It's your boy now. Here we go. So, X-rated. I'm the king of fantasy football, bitches. Corey, I'm coming for you this week. I'm already up 35 points with more to go. Mikey Mike, I love you, bro. I got Devin beating you. Even though you got like 900 points from 2 players. It doesn't even matter. Once again, shout out Miss Beautiful Alyssa. Goddamn 10-year McAllen. Fire, fire, fire. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. That's the goods. Apparently Junior knows how to pick them. I'm higher than a giraffe's ass right now. We're going to cruise on up the local watering hole. Get our drank on and our stank on. Excuse me. Once again, folks, you know we love you. You know how it goes. Please hit subscribe. You know E-Money loves you. X-Rated in the house, Captain Corey. Please don't forget, go visit Corey and the crew at the Morency store. Don't forget Camden. Don't forget Buchanan, Devils Lake, Addison, and Edmore. We got the crew everywhere. Go see Carlos and the crew over in Camden. Go see Rosa and Sean and everyone else over in Buchanan. We got Hunter and the squad, Miss Taylor over in in Devils Lake, Addison. And we got the brotherlet Wes running Edmore. www.pinnaclecana.com for all your cannabis needs. Check out the menus. No one loves you and respects you more than the crew. Aloha. You know how he goes. Love, peace, chicken grease. We're gonna go eat some chicken wings right now, bitches. Got an air fryer. Made one time shit last night. Apparently you can't make super fried chicken with that shit. Fucked it. Cast iron skillet. Here we go. I'm from the South, Corey. You know how that shit goes. Folks, I said it once before. I say it again. I love you. Be nice to your family and friends and your neighbor. Here we go. X-Rated out.